Are you here?
I'm here.
Okay, Carla Pennington Cross is here. Danielle Bailey is here. Is there a motion to approve the agenda? Carla,
So moved.
a motion to approve. Great. I will second. All in favor, voice vote. Aye. Great. Look at us moving right along. Two things, hopefully will be pretty quick, but important things. So I'm excited to hear about them. So the first is the website updates, which I imagine, Karen, you're just gonna walk us through your document, or how did you want to do it?
Yeah. We haven't met in a while, and I don't know if you have the document in front of you, or do you want me to share my screen? I don't know. There's. I guess I can just.
I have it in front of me.
How about this? One of the things we talked about is we need some new photography, especially since we are not mask mandatory anymore. I didn't want the whole website to be masked, but I absolutely want to leave some of it, you know, just for families to feel comfortable. I had a friend who was going to help me with that, and they are no longer in the district. So now we are working with Eric Mitchell. Yeah, I know, who did the K4 video, and he's working on some stuff for our school as well. And so he's talked about getting me stills and things that I'm excited to use. But in the meantime, I pulled a few things just to kind of get us through until he actually can supply me with those photos. So I do know we need to update.
Yeah, but I like the mix, because you do have a mix of both, and that's nice.
It's just temporary to get us through.
Yeah.
I think we talked about the school board page, and I think the one thing really was to try to get those committee dates on a calendar somewhere. But since we're not completely set yet, haven't been able to do that, but I will do that in the future.
If I give you a couple notes as you go,
jump in anytime.
So for school board, one thing I thought I'd like to see included on the school board page is like resolutions.
Oh yeah, okay.
And highlight those. I've seen that on other websites. I like that.
Okay.
And then I know that none of us here have control over this, but I want to say it anyway, is that the policies have been down for a very long time now on the school board page.
Yep.
And I think that we should reevaluate the cost, benefit, whatever, to not having those there and being easily accessible. I reference my zip folder all the time. I might be alone, but I think it's going to take us some time to get through all of them, even though we're going to update. So I'd like to revisit that with Allison. And I know, Karen, you'll probably be responsible for the bulk of uploading them or whatever that means, or even if they're on board docs, I don't care. But I think at this point, I think we really should reassess getting those policies up there and replacing them once that work is done. But I think it's been almost a year now, and
Yep. And I do understand. I agree. I don't want to put them on board docs because it's more work. Actually, it might be easier just to put the ones that we have on and just put them back on the website. So I can easily do that.
Okay, that would be awesome. If that's not even, I don't see why that would be an issue, but
no, it won't be.
Okay.
Let's see, we're still working on things with the departments. I've got the business operations. I've got all the the budget stuff up there. Student services, we were kind of waiting until we had a new director, and so we could kind of follow what her lead would be, and she could give me information. With teaching and learning, we have a new Patty, and her name is Taylor Dasso, and she is currently actually working with Jenica on getting the bulk of the information that we want to put on the curriculum page. And then I'm also in the process of going to teach Taylor how to do it so she can keep it updated, because it's going to be a lot, and it's a little bit more than one person can handle. So I'm excited about that.
One point for student services. I mean, I see how that'll be left up to the director, but I think, do you envision it looking somewhat like where we highlight the staff? I mean, I'd like to see more of outlining what student services even means, highlighting this is the team you go to for therapy or for psychiatry or for IEPs or that more concrete information is what I would ask of the director. To sort of highlight, these are the team members and this is what they do, and this is how you get a hold of them if you need this. I think that would be really important.
Yeah, a navigation tool, right?
Sure. And
Is
we
what you're
had that
thinking.
on our old page, and we can,
Okay.
now that we've got some people in place and, I have kind of a team I can work with and keep it.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. I can do that too. Contacts and their titles and their photos when we get those.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else with any of those
Well,
department things?
Seneca, with teaching and learning, then there's like a lot of accordion tabs. Is that you guys are working on flushing those out? Is that what you and Taylor are working on?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So this year, our big project with teams was to refine like scope and sequences and get, pacing guides completed and unit plans utilized in the same format, because everyone kind of had their own thing. So Taylor, we just did an audit of all of them. And so Taylor's going back through and kind of filling in any holes that we have, so we can get that up on the website. Then there'll
Okay.
be an assessment page that links to all the different like forward and, all the different assessments that we do. I don't have the website up, but there's multiple tabs that we want covered. So we're kind of laying
Yeah.
out how we want that to look.
Yeah, like this is a sidebar that I'd like to ask you about at another time, Jenica, but I think it's been a while since we've gotten the G&T like audit update. And so when I looked at the gifted and talented, now talent development, and there was something in there about changes to last year, I wondered if we could touch base on that in a committee or board soon, unless I missed it. Was there like a major update lately on that?
No, the curriculum committee is meeting on Wednesday, so that'll be coming out hopefully later tonight. I'm still waiting for her draft of the handbook.
Oh, great. Okay.
Yeah, so we're gonna go over, ask for feedback on the draft of the family handbook.
Okay.
So, and really the goal is to determine whether or not, there is anything missing
Okay.
that parents would like to see in the handbook. Is it in user-friendly language? And then any other suggestions that they have.
Okay, so that would I would like to see that live under the GNT tab, but maybe also the families, or maybe families is going away. I can't remember. You said maybe the families tab is staying.
Yes.
Okay, like could that live in both places?
That's another question that we're asking for feedback around. Like,
okay.
Where's the GNT
what would
tab?
make most sense?
I see a talent development tab.
Yeah, that's the tab.
It's
Just
not GT anymore.
It's the talent development.
Yeah.
Got it.
So
Okay.
that'll be, that's also one of the questions as well, is, how would it be most easily accessible to you? We're on the website. So we'll ask those questions too, but it'll have to be in multiple places.
Yeah, I kind of feel that way about the student handbooks too. I know where they live, and it's always like a go here, go here, go here. But I wonder if redundancy might not be a big deal if we have some of those handbooks or like that information more easily accessible, whether it's the families tab or I don't know where else it would go, but thinking about.
I could add it to the families tab under the district, because right now it's just specifically under each school.
Right.
And I can leave it there and I can put it under the district as well, because that sometimes is like as deep as people go to look on the website.
Yes, that's right. Exactly. Like I saw someone asking about the cross country schedule today, which now awesomely the athletics page is very much updated, although linked to last year, right? So you're waiting for new information.
Oh yeah, we have none of that information
here.
yet.
I was like, it's here, go to Glen Hills, then go to athletics, then cross country, right? But like, anyway, some of those things.
It's still summer. Let's like enjoy summer, right?
No, people are planning. They're prepared.
Okay.
No,
like
I'm just
idea of
saying.
redundancies.
Some things make sense like that, but
To me, I think people get to the homepage and it's not really, for some reason, it's not intuitive to look up in the right corner and choose a school, I think that's why the idea of redundant places to access things like school-specific resources on the district page seems like a good idea.
On the district page. Oh.
Right, just like what you guys are saying. I'm sucking on a lemon drop and saying yes.
Yeah.
All I'm saying, because I have stupid questions on my little list here. Because I have no idea what I'm looking at. This is my first meeting. My questions were like, are you guys looking at a beta version of the website or are you looking at the actual website? Now I'm figuring out you're looking at the actual website. So what I see is what
Yeah.
everyone's seeing.
Because Carla, all last year we had like a working group to sort of vet potential vendors for websites and look at what we needed from a new website. And Karen has been diligently plugging that in and learning the new format that we went with. And then we're regularly checking back in to
Okay.
understand how it's being updated and looking for ways to keep, building on it.
And here's my other super ignorant question. I mean, maybe this isn't the right time, but on this document with a bunch of notes about what's happening,
Oh, sorry.
what do the colors signify? Is like purple Danielle and yellow is Karen, or
No, I meant to, even it was funny because Lindsay saw it today. She's like, do you really want that on there? I was like, yeah, I do. I know it looks kind of sloppy. And I meant to mention that in the beginning. The red were my questions many, many months ago. The purple was when we had a committee meeting, I think in May. And then the current are the highlight yellow with the, black, just either my explanations or where we're at. So sorry.
so it's just no, it was a wonderful document. I could see it's a work in progress. I
Yeah.
just wondered if there was some significance to the colors that
Yeah.
I should know about.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Karen, on that families, sorry to jump in here. I don't know if I'm allowed or not.
For it.
On the family tab on the district page,
Mhm.
can we put under there Parkway, and will it send everyone to the Parkway page?
That's a good idea.
And then you don't have to double do it. Then everything could be then they're sending them to the Parkway page and then Glen Hills and send to the Glen Hills page. Because you're right, it is that it's not intuitive up in the corner there
No.
necessarily. But
It's also like light gray. It's like a light color, right? So it's kind of like hard to.
And according to template, there's nothing else I can do.
Sure.
It is where it is. But yeah, that's a good idea to put it on the district page under family. Yeah.
Or even, is it better under families or under about?
yeah, that's how I was going back and forth.
Oh, about?
I don't know. That's
Does
an
it
interesting question. Or it depends on the person coming, right? Someone might come and be like, I'm going to look under departments for Parkway specific.
Or should I put it in both? Doesn't hurt, just a tab.
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
Cool. Do you remember where you were?
Now, I'm just gonna write this down so I don't.
Families. I think we're into families. I think families.
Okay, next we're into families. So actually now that I'm looking at this, within the last week it's changed. It said working on IC templates, that's Infinite Campus, to walk through step by step on how to register, or how to, pretty much do anything. And it's not live on the page right now, but I have it. It's all built and it's created, and there's accordion files. There are what we're referring to it as is the verification day, and that's what we do. That's starting August 1st, where every family goes through and they double check and they make sure that nothing's changed, and they go through all the steps. They pay their fees, they put money in their lunch funds, they check a transportation survey if they haven't already done it. Just, I don't know, pretty much everything. And that's going to start August 1st. And that's basically that's our kickoff day, where everything is going to be come out, and through Infinite Campus and social media. So that's what you're not seeing, but it is there. There's like online enrollment support, free and reduced applications, school photo information, school fees, like just everything you could ever think of. And then there's a whole page of like facts, what if I don't have my Infinite Campus password? How, an account, how do I set it up? What if I forgot it? How do you reset your password? So this is kind of the first year that we've really had a thorough, like how to do everything, because, sometimes for us, we think, oh, we know how to do it, but obviously families do not, and they need that step-by-step. And we've done a lot of research on other websites as well. And, we have favorites from other schools, and that's kind of where we've gotten our grounding from.
And that's going to be a tab where you said like an enrollment support.
Okay, there's two different things. So there is, and we're also specifying that in family information. If you are a new student, there's an enrollment tab that's across the top, like in the blue bar, and that is for new students and open enrollment information. And then it also just has a little teaser about the annual verification process.
Okay.
And so it will also be there with a link that'll take you to this. But under the families page, it's called annual back to school verification. And then that link will be, spread everywhere. So they won't have trouble. They should not have trouble finding it.
Okay.
And then we also want to say, one thing we've kind of learned is enrollment is a one-time thing. So if you are a brand new student to the district, you enroll and then you don't ever enroll again. From then on, it's the verification. So we're kind of trying to figure out how to, teach parents that this is the language, this is, so they know what to do from here on forward.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, I see that you've got that down there.
Okay. Oh, so for the families, it sounds like are you going to be looking to Denise to populate the resources that are sort of tabbed but not flushed out?
Yeah, let me look.
Family resources?
Yeah, I have talked to Denise about it and I haven't gotten any real information, but I will, talk to her again about it this year when the new school year and see if I can get that information. I did start pulling some mental health, information and like sites and things like that, but that's really kind of beyond my scope, and I need the SE team to help me with that.
Yeah, and we should ask her for the information about the Aurora partnership, right? Like that's always been a little bit vague, even in the rollout about how families access it, what it's for. That this would be a good place to.
Sure. Yep. And when I can get that information, of course, I'll.
Yeah.
Well,
incorporate.
If an SST director comes on and we have a school counselor, you should be able to share that effort to collect all this information.
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, I see. So some things are populated.
Yep.
What's McKinney-Vento? Oh, so homeless.
That's homeless, yeah.
Oh, the other thing was I know for family resources, I don't know if it talks about the foundation, but the foundation's emergency fund, if that is still ongoing, we probably want to include that.
Yeah.
There as well.
There used to be a link to that, to the grant.
I think it's probably on the foundation, or it was on the foundation page that was part of our website, but it would be good.
No, it was never a foundation grant process. It was a district need
right,
grant
but
process
I think the information lived somewhere around where
it did not live on our foundation page.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because we wanted very much not to be involved in any decision making.
Okay.
We funded it, but we wanted the district experts to be. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, then it needs a home.
Yeah, yeah, it needs a home.
Needs a home. Okay. There were, not to just jump all over the place, Karen, but I thought your points on the news sort of needing a cohesion, or like it needs a look, it needs, it's like kind of post. I don't know. I'm sure, is that the template? There's not much to do there. Like
there isn't much to do, and I've recently I've learned how to make it look better, so, but that's about all I can do. And the same thing, it's sometimes a little tough to find something for the district page than it is for the school pages. And I guess it's just also a matter of just getting the information.
Yeah, it kind of goes along with our social media, right? Like it's like,
yes,
school board meeting, yay. Like it's like when you go to look at the past updates, it's not like you're like, kind
Mhm.
of like how exciting or relevant, or what does this say about our,
Yeah.
just what's the message? So when we talk about the communication plan, I think that that's maybe where those pieces fit more, like social media, news, and thinking about what we share and when we share it. So
Mhm.
kind of is what it is for right now. I
Yep.
don't know, you agree, Jenica or Carla?
Yep.
Yeah.
Having tried to fix up the foundation's website this past year with the support of a UWM student IT team, I'm learning that making a vibrant, really cool looking website is apparently really, really, really hard. I thought they were going to do it for us, but something about it seems to, I mean, I certainly don't know how to do it, but it seems real, you know, we can imagine it, but it's not like drawing and making a poster. There's stickiness in the templates that systems give you, and it's really hard to be freehand with it.
Yeah.
So I have a better empathy for what you're dealing with, Karin, after the past year.
Yeah, I mean, I think most important, it's just information as well as, I can throw in some pretty pictures, but do they need to like dance around? No, because my goal is to really keep this. I want this to be something that people actually think to go to. And I don't think they do now at all, no matter what, they just don't. But
Yeah.
somehow
And
we'll get them there.
As we talk about like redundant spots to get to things, the balance of that is like, does the list get so long that a harried parent with 3 kids hanging on their ankles can get through that list and find what they need, right? So it's that tug and pull.
Yep. And even though I'm not there anymore, my kids are way too old. I do remember because I stayed home with them for a very long time. So
Yeah.
I know I try to think about what I would look for, what I need to know, and how to get there as quick as possible. So I just use that mama instinct, I guess, sometimes. I don't know if it's right or not, but.
No, it's good. It's good. Okay. I'm just looking through the rest of your notes. Yeah. The only other, I think there's a lot of links to 21, 22 information that I imagine updates as we go around G&T, around athletics. But the students page looks like, will that be the library? They'll have access to the library website there. Do you remember that sweet child that stayed till 10 o'clock at a school board meeting to talk to us about making the library page more accessible?
Isn't it on there?
Students right now is blank, I think, unless I'm.
Glen Hills is. Yep.
Oh, Glen Hills.
I clicked on students and there's nothing there.
Yeah.
Parkway, I see resources, and then that's blank.
Where are you looking at? Wait, where are you looking at? You see students?
So I've gone to Glen Hills Middle School. Then I click on students, and there's nothing there.
Yeah, library is under academics.
Oh.
So is that intuitive?
No.
Like, is it? It's weird because I feel like the website just changed as I was looking at it. So now I'm like,
it's not possible. I've been here the whole time.
No. The format, I had all the tabs across the top and now they're all on the side. I don't know. I'm also losing my mind a little bit. So maybe
I have found the library page.
Okay. So, there it is. It's because if you make your screen narrow, then you lose the across the bar tab and it goes to just the side. Like it goes to just, you have to click. Okay. Sorry. So the students is front and center. And yeah, there's nothing there.
What's supposed to go under students?
I would say handbooks. I would say library access. And like you have listed, Karin, your classroom resources, whatever that is. I don't know.
Yep.
It's kind of what I would.
I will talk to the principals about that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Because I see a family student handbook. I don't know. Yeah.
The student handbook is under family.
But it can go under students too.
Yeah.
Is the idea that a student would come to this webpage and click on students to see what's there for them?
Yep. Well, and that's another thing too. There's Dreambox. There's all kinds of different. Well, I mean, I think actually now that I say that, the library does cover all of those things. They have links. Deb Gallitz especially has a great page with links to everything that they would want to look for.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Okay. I think those were all my notes that I had about the website. But as always, Karen, I know it's not easy and you're the only person doing it right now. So
Well, at least I like to do it.
I know you do. I know.
do.
But still,
Yeah.
gratitude should always be extended.
Well, thank
Oh,
you. I appreciate it.
I did have
Yeah.
one last point. Once we get to like where you feel it's like, okay, I'm not updating, I'm not adding anymore. It's just maintenance. I think we should use Tim Panacucci's idea about extending some kind of user survey, very small sample. Remember how he talked about maybe getting like 10 people and giving them tasks, find X, Y, or Z, and then figuring out, is our website as great as we think it is? I think we still need to keep that on our radar.
Okay.
That's a great idea.
We could even run that like during a committee, maybe as a feedback session even.
Yeah.
And then have a discussion about it with the people who are doing it, just because, when they're live with you,
Yeah,
it's just a little, you can ask questions.
that'd be fun.
Who
Jazz up.
has animals? Which of you has animals making
It's
noises?
me. So I think it's like cranes that are being attacked
Yeah.
by a deer. It's crazy out there.
Okay.
If it's not the dogs, Jenica, it's your crane.
That's why I'm hiding out here and the dogs are locked in the house.
Okay. I don't want to cut you off, Karen. Is there anything else you want to share?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay. Carla, any questions?
Is this like a thing in the communications committee meeting? Like every meeting, Karen comes and gives an update about the webpage, or
No.
is it
Every
like
meeting. No, not every meeting. I think it's just been a while. So it's like more, maybe like a quarterly, or just as there are things to talk about and update, well, or if I have questions, then Carl will be like, great, let's talk about it in the committee.
Is there, since
do.
I'm on the comm committee, is there any benefit? I mean, I haven't had my head in there. Is there any benefit to me spending time on the website and sending you any questions and thoughts, Karen, or is that superfluous and a waste of your time?
No, it's definitely not. And I actually, everything you guys gave me for insight today really is helpful, and I definitely will follow through with. I think some of the stuff I just need now is it's kind of more internal. Like I just want to talk to the principals and the social worker and new director and just kind of see their input. And once I can gather more information, then I think it would, then sure, let's go back out there, especially like what Danielle just said about a user survey. So maybe we just, it's up to you, whatever you want to do.
I'll send Karen things where I'm like, oh, I noticed this isn't on the website or this isn't working. If you ever have an issue or a question, I think she's open to you.
Oh, for sure. Because, links get broken, PDFs disappear. So if you see something that's wrong, please tell me.
And I can send that to you directly. I shouldn't send it through
Well, you should
Allison.
maybe Allison. I think. Let's clear that one with her, because that's like a technical, I don't know.
I'm just asking. You tell me how to do it.
I don't know. Carla will have to confirm.
You know what? Let me talk to Allison and I'll let you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
She probably doesn't need to be notified of a broken link type deal, but
no. But maybe we can just
like a bigger, like me wanting to have the policies uploaded. I'll follow up with Allison after this meeting and say, this is what I brought up again. I'd really like to see this happen. And then she'll work with it, Karen, on it, I imagine. So hopefully. So, okay, great. Then that will conclude that portion of the meeting. And I will move on to 2B, which Allison listed as revisit communication survey, which is not exactly what I was envisioning we'd be doing. I had asked to talk about a communication plan, which Jenica and Karen, you guys know that we've been talking about sort of. So I understand there's this communication plan working group, so maybe it all kind of ties in. I don't know, Jenica, were you maybe leading this part, or did you want to start this off, or doesn't matter to me. I'm happy to talk about what I was thinking too.
Sure. Well, I just pulled back out the workflow that we did a long time ago.
Yeah, right.
I think it was like August. And I'll be honest, I have not attended a lot of the communication committee meetings. So I haven't been totally in the loop on some of these things, but I did do an update to the document that should have been attached, an attachment. Do you want me to share my screen with it?
updated.
Would that be
Sure.
clear?
Sure.
Karen, can you give me access? All right, we'll try it again. Nope.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you ask me something?
Oh yeah, could you allow me to share my screen?
Oh, yes, yes, yes. I'm sorry.
Oh no, thanks.
I just had to take a minute break.
Oh. All right. Lovely. Okay. So I just pulled out this from the past and just kind of did some updating.
Oh,
We
you guys
were-
are all froze for me. No.
This was attached to the agenda, right?
Yes. So with this, we were, a little off track with what we thought was going to be the timeline, because it did take us a little while to get to that survey, if you recall. So in the beginning, we, started talking about, the process of creating a communication plan, gathering the feedback. So part of the work that we did was have Donovan Group come in, and which does school communications, and they did that survey. And then Perry ended up coming to a board meeting and sharing out the results from the survey. And then after that, so that kind of all that work kind of concluded in January, February. And during that time, that was kind of the strategic planning talk was going on, right? And then thinking that communication was going to be a pillar in the strategic plan. So I think things kind of ended up going a little on hold with some transitions because of how some of that shook out. So right now, where we sit, if we were to continue with this, right, is really we need to have a kind of a discussion as to, some recommendations based on the feedback from the survey, and then kind of the creation of what is that going to look like, a plan moving forward. And I know in the past, Danielle, I've shared some examples of what the work could look like. So I don't know if this is something like the team, I think Allison would definitely need to be a part of this, right? Like if the team wants to, have some discussions around, format, or, yes, we think this is going to be a pillar, and, what are some of the plans that we really like? What are some pieces that we want included in a plan? Maybe part of the work, I'm just spitballing here. Maybe part of the work of this team could be coming up with a framework of what they'd like to see in a communication plan, like creating out, what are all the topics that would be included in that. So that would be my kind of 2 cents on it, based on looking at all those other plans that I shared with you in that folder.
So has there been discussion about putting together a formal communication plan? Has that?
Yes,
been on the
yes.
table?
So yeah, Jenica was sort of outlining, it's like the work in this committee began as talking about a communication plan and talking about a website redo. Those are like our 2 main charges. The website was the primary focus. We did that work, and the communication plan was sort of ongoing work. We've talked about not just communication plan, but branding, and just sort of thinking about the website. All these big ideas were being discussed. Jenica shared some communication plan examples with me and with the group, I think, that gave us, a way to think about these things. And then, like she said, things just kind of paused because it was assumed to be part of strategic planning. And so it was assumed, so now we're at a place where strategic planning has turned into, my understanding, the 100-day plan, and sort of the administration doing its this year plan, and strategic planning kind of becoming a longer course of action. But in my mind, the reason I wanted to bring the communication plan back up is because I don't think it should wait. And so I guess the questions I have is, does the communication plan, the way that we have talked about it, Jenica, in the past, I guess my question would be, is that part of this 100-day plan or this next year plan, or is it a little bit, it seems like from what I've seen, it's not quite, I don't think you would come out with a formal communication plan the way that you see like Whitnall or what's the other one, Nina, like that's not a product of the current sort of administrative planning is my understanding. And I would want to confirm that. And if that is the case, then I would ask, I've been thinking about this because really it's not the board's job to create this, but I would like it created and I would like to support the work, like you said, by perhaps like giving suggestions around framework or like, I mean, there are several things I really like from like the Nina plan you've shared, the Whitnall plan. There's a communication timeline, which I think Jenica, you and I both like, that shows, where you could create that says, these are the communications the district sends out and when, so we sort of have that understanding. There are other things, Carla, in these plans, which I don't think you've had time to look at them, I would
I
imagine.
skimmed them. I just skimmed them. They're long.
Yeah, but what they do is they identify your priorities, stakeholders, and some of the things I really like is like they identify like who communicates what. Like these are all the communicators in your district. What are their responsibilities? Who are they communicating? Thinking about incident protocols, communications around that. Like, and then my favorite thing that I would love to see this district have that was part of the conversation is the communication tip sheet, like the cheat sheet that Fox Point Bayside made, which would be for families and community members and I think who else does it? Like Menominee Falls website maybe kind of does it and says, here's all our channels of communication and it's just on their website.
Yeah.
But something like that. So there are things where I'm like, yes, I'd love to see us have X, Y, or Z, but obviously the nuts and bolts would be, I think, up to you guys as administrators to.
Is there a reason a communication plan can't be built except in, I mean, it sounds like you had the idea that unless you have a strategic plan in place with communication as a pillar, there's not a foundation to build a communication plan. Was that the
No, I
thinking?
think we just thought it would go hand in hand because it was such an important, it's such an important issue in our district, communication. I'll speak for myself, is that we assumed it would be a major part of any strategic plan. And so it wasn't that it had to be part of it. I don't think it does. I think it can exist outside of it and can be incorporated, or it can, it can change how it needs to if a strategic plan down the line, if they're in discordance, but I think it's needed now because I still think we are having the same complaints about communication and issues, still having a lot of the things that prompted us to start this conversation when I joined the board, a year and a half, 2 years ago even, or something like that. So I think that I think we're filling in the holes, but the problem is we need, I don't know. And we need this sort of uniform or this cohesion. So everyone's on the same page instead of us sort of doing it bit by bit, if that makes sense.
Right. And I will say on the SAIL training, and there is a communication component within the SAIL training that really focuses in around communication with progress monitoring, and you're checking in on all of those types of things. So I know Allison has been working with the team around some of that. What is it going to be our communication flow to families? What is it going to be for staff? What is it going to be for the community, for the admin team, and kind of.
Oh, wait, Jennifer, what are you showing right now?
Oh, something shouldn't be showing.
Wait, no, it's information. Don't take
wondering what that is.
Is it like a communication plan? What was that?
It's communication that we were coming up for sales for the August date. So, so we kind of have like communication within the 100-day plan of how we're going to communicate each piece. Like to families within that 100 days. But when you think about like a communication plan, you're thinking system wide. So, and then what we're, the SAIL work is a huge important piece to it. And I think we're doing a lot of those pieces. So I think that would be a really good question for Allison. As to, do we do, do we start that work and communicate in this committee to create that communication plan, or have conversations around it and we go with it, or have her come and talk about the work that we're doing with SAIL.
I mean, I think, yeah, we could look at like, yeah, what pieces, how, in what steps or order pieces, how does Allison see that coming together is an appropriate thing to ask. Like, I just think about, like, if you're a new family to this district, or if you're new to the district and you're like, people are asking questions like, when do we get this information? Where does it come from? How do I know X, Y, or Z? And you can go to the website, you can navigate that, but there is something that can be very valuable in having a document at the very least that highlights, this is when we send communication, this is when enrollment information comes out, this is where it lives, this is where, you know, new families go, this is district newsletters, you know, kind of showing the channels of communication and what they can expect from each one, like that tip sheet, I think.
I was gonna say what I hear you saying is that a tip sheet would be really helpful, similar to Fox Point Baysides.
Yeah, or at least this idea of understanding what is our current, what would that look like currently, right now for us? What would the snapshot be of what communication looks like right now for us, right? And that may help fuel the pieces you're doing with the 100-day. It may show us that, yeah, we really do need this communication plan. And it might help us figure out ways to just like be more efficient. And I think, I can't remember which, Nina's plan talks about, like, they look at it annually. It's something they look at annually, their communications, their communication plan, and how do we make it more efficient?
Yeah, I mean, you have to progress monitor it. So we,
Like,
you know, we have to be checking, because if we're doing something, we need to know that it's working.
yeah, because there's so many levels of communication as a district family. There's the communication from your teacher. There's the Thursday folder, which you have to, you know, you see the email, but you remember to check and go through. And then what information is in there? We know Right Way needs bus drivers. We hear that's a very big deal every Thursday, right? But like some of the biggest things that have happened this year were not communicated in the Thursday folder. So why not? So I think that's all part of thinking about how information comes from the district to families, to students, the community. So
Does the Nina plan include, I haven't looked at it yet, I can just read it. I'm wondering if it includes like a feedback loop as part of its annual review, getting information from families and users, or, you know, the ears.
they talk about stakeholders and engagement, and I think so, but the Nina plan, and there's two plans that I could find that Jenica shared, the Whitnell plan, the Nina plan, and then Fox Point Bayside has the tip sheet, which I think I added to that folder as well. And then you can also just take a look at Menominee's website, which I think I linked to in an email. Yeah. To just get an idea, because it's different. None of them are exactly the same, and we don't have to do exactly like they do, but I think there's some good pieces. We don't have to reinvent the wheel either. And we have the communication survey, which is that engagement and feedback to help form along with sale training.
The only thing I remember about the communication survey that was it a fellow named Hibner who did the presentation around it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the one where he said that no one had problems with internet access. And so we didn't need to worry about internet access, but it was a survey you could only take with internet access. Right? And so I worried about the skew and how that information, I remember
copies available in the school, maybe.
Yeah, there were copies available. It was sent out on a postcard as well through a mailing.
Sorry, my computer's freezing.
There's a hard copy sent. And then just with thinking about students within the district, we had, I want to say it was possibly 20 students that may have borrowed a Wi-Fi hotspot, but had access to smartphones.
Yeah.
So the positive is it's a small percentage overall, but with access to smartphones, you were able to do it with a smartphone though too.
Okay, sorry, I'm having technical difficulties. Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay, all right, I'll keep my video off. I'm not sure there's much we can do without Allison here. But I guess I'd like to keep this as a topic for our next committee meeting with the charge that it's a conversation topic to, for Jenica, maybe for you to have with her, for us as a board, as board members to sort of express desire around this and then get her thoughts when we come back and meet again, maybe next month. Because I guess I will just say to her that as a board member, I'd like to, I mean, it's been a long time since we've been talking about this, and I do see it as a pretty relevant and urgent need in our district. And it sounds like some of the work is being done. It's pulling the pieces together and putting them into, you know, and sort of putting it all down in a document or a couple different kinds of.
Yep. Kind of like how Nina has at the back of their communication plan. I don't know if you saw that. But they have a nice like grid
Yeah.
as to, you know, it's like all the different stakeholder groups
Mhm.
laying out some, you know, when does this come? When does this happen? You know, it just,
Yeah, I love that grid. I love it.
something like that, along with like that pairs with the tip sheet
Uh-huh.
would be helpful.
And I also would like to see us do that, what I don't know if I think it's Whitnell, maybe it's Nina, just looking at like who are the folks that communicate in our district, right? Between administrators, board, staff, you know, principals, like all of that, and like who are they, like I think that sort of there would be a benefit to having a universal understanding of communicators and responsibilities and information that is communicated from, you know, to whom, from who. I don't know. Oh, that like, for example, gray area where
Can you repeat that? We
I
lost
think it's communicated from a coach or sorry, you guys are frozen. I'm not sure.
You're dropping in and out, Danielle.
Shoot.
she there?
Danielle?
No, you guys are all frozen. Can you hear me though?
We can hear
Yes.
you.
No.
Can you hear us?
I wonder if I can.
Yeah, the Whitnell one is nice for the communication. It just
Oh,
kind of
is chat disabled?
I'm gonna stop sharing.
I don't know if chat might be disabled, Carla, but
I would
you have access to the communications folder that has the plans in it. I sent an email to your
Yeah.
in
I-
reply to this meeting.
The Whitnell is nice about, you know, the purpose and, you know, of the communication. So newsletters, what's, you know, kind of in there, who's in charge of it, blah, blah, blah. So that there are some nice pieces within that. I think we need a little bit of everything for what we want. You know, there is no perfect plan to, you know, we need to make it our own. I think we lost Danielle.
Sorry. Let me text Carla.
Huh?
We can hear you.
I can hear you, Danielle.
Oh, you can? Oh, sorry.
We
You
can
guys
hear
keep
you. We
freezing
can't
for me.
hear you.
Okay. Anyway, I think because I'm having technical difficulties, I think I would, like I said, I'd like to continue this conversation at our.
Lost you, Danielle.
I'm wondering if I can have a conversation with Allison about the idea of bringing this back to communication and talking about that communication plan.
Yeah.
Whether it's a, you know, a this year and here's what we're going to be tackling,
Yeah.
or if it's a system-wide communication plan.
Well, yes. And you know how I feel, Jenica. I've said it too, I think a lot in terms of, I think we
know.
need it all.
I
So
know
if
I know how you feel.
So if it's prioritizing, that's fine. And this committee now, you know, is with the website behind us, it's not, we have huge, tasks in front of us. So this would be a good time to start offering feedback and supporting this kind of work, I think.
And there's
and I know,
pieces, like,
yeah.
if we know the certain pieces that we want in the plan or to be a part of the plan, there's certain things that we can tackle, like we talked about the tip sheet or the grid, or, there's pieces that we can do this year that'll be helpful for the greater good as we go through the process too.
Yes. Okay.
All right.
Unless there's anything else, we could wrap up this portion. Carla, is there anything else you want to add before I drop off again?
Well, I just mentioned that I'll talk to Allison when she gets back about this topic and bringing it back.
Okay. And I know I missed a hand from Lindsay. I'm sorry, somewhere during that conversation. I don't know if there was something you wanted to add. But
nope, I'm good.
Okay. Then I would move to visitor participation. Seeing that there are no visitors, I would close visitor participation and I would entertain a motion to adjourn. Ms. Pennington Cross.
Ms. Pennington Cross moves to adjourn.
Daniel Bailey seconds. All in favor, voice vote aye. Thanks for joining us on this beautiful summer night, you guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Talk soon. All right, bye.